the next move they need to do?
Trade for a DB? I think they're fine at DB. I think personally, I don't think the whole we're gonna use our nickel situation to be adaptable. Like we're gonna play the matchups. If we see Isaiah Oliver's fit for this guy, we're gonna put him in there. If we see Diamador Lenore's fit for this guy, we're gonna put him in there. No. Isaiah Oliver, that's it. No one else. I don't want to see Ambry Thomas out there again because no one's caring about DB noise until Ambry Thomas goes out there. Those were the biggest plays the Cardinals were making essentially last week. Ambry Thomas is essentially burnt toast. I'm pretty sure if you look up at the dictionary right now, you'll see his name right next to it. I mean, I'm sorry. The guy is not good at all. He's just a special teams player. Diamador Lenore is a fine player. He's not great. And Javarius Ward's a really good player, not great. You're more than fine there. And again, you would hope later as the season goes on, which is why you brought in Gregory, right, that your pass rush efficiency is going to be more hands-on. You're going to create more turnovers and stuff like that. So I don't think that should be their next move unless you're magically going to bring in a right tackle. But I think they're more than fine because who's really going to be a DB out there? I think they're more than fine defensive back. You pretty much helped your defensive backs with that Randy Gregory trade.
I think what's interesting actually is like the next move could be another D-end if Randy Gregory doesn't work out. Like we've now seen what the Niners feel is their number one issue. Like the one thing they wanted to add before, if there was one thing, it's this before the playoff run. So they get their bookend. They gave Drake Jackson a chance. They gave Cleveland Farrell a chance. It's not working out. And boom, here they bring in Randy Gregory. But let's say he doesn't work out. I mean, he is 19 and a half sacks in his career. He gets hurt a lot. Well, they have more than enough cap space and time to bring in someone else, whoever that might be. So the next move could be the next Randy Gregory if it ain't him.
And plus, you mentioned that this is what they made this trade because of a need. But even in the years when they didn't have a need, they just saw a decent player that they could pick off the tree and say, screw it, we're going to bring this guy in and make him our own. I'm thinking about Charles Omenihu. They didn't really need like that. They didn't even expect him to be that immediate impact player. So every year, there's always been one every year. And every time I swear, like, okay, there's no way they're going to magically find a defensive lineman, a pass rusher, whatever that's decent and that they could bring in. And sure enough, Randy Gregory, that's why when you text me, you said, oh, Randy Gregory, they traded for Gregory. I was like, didn't he get released like 2 days ago? So that's the thing about these news. They always say that. But yeah, that's a good point because what's the trade deadlines in like 2 to 3 weeks, 4 weeks, something like that? No more than 3 weeks, I think. So yeah, that's something. Even if Randy Gregory does pan out, I wouldn't put it past them to still look for someone to add on anyways, because you can't have enough pass rushes in this league. They want to be as dominant as possible. And considering that the Niners have put practically all their chips on the table this year and have said over and over again, this is the year. No excuses. Even if your pass rush is fine, go get another guy. If you can upgrade it, do it.
No. Yeah, I'm with you on that. Do you think they could go after an offensive line, anyone on offense, or this offense too good? Is this a defense they got to focus on?
I'd say, yeah, right now this is probably the defense, because I think the offense is finally the 49ers' strength for once, right? Out of all of Kyle Shanahan's years, the offense is finally, at least through 4 games this year, it's finally their strength, where the defense it's pretty much been carrying Shanahan. It did in 2019. It did in 2021. It did last year. Not saying that the offense was bad those years, but come on, let's be real. Those defenses were amazing, and they were the leader. They were the captains of the ship, while the offense played second fiddle and played perfect complementary football. This year, it's looking clear that it's the offense. Cole McKivitz, he's no more than average. I feel like he's still a little bit of a downgrade compared to McGlinchey has been. But ultimately, he still hasn't been a great liability that's been detrimental at all to the 49ers. Now, you could say it's because they haven't faced anyone valiant, and we're going to see this week, right? I'm assuming Marco Parsons, McKivitz, 100% of the snaps, just like with TJ Watt over and over again. I think so far you're going to try to ride your lumps with him because it's been fine so far. So who's really going to be out there? Lyle Collins, that'd be one person you consider. And if you would think he can fit a right tackle, but that'd be a huge change to put as your starter, right?
It's crazy how you can find like an actual talented bookend edge rusher right now for like, a pick swap late and like $1 million. And he's actually an upgrade. And you're like, man, this is a nice addition. He can play right away. I mean, you can't get a right tackle like that. It just shows you like it's really hard to get quality tackles. Man, they just don't exist, and they're expensive, and they're not available.
Especially in the middle of the year. I mean, I know it's not the middle of the year, but at any point during the active season, that's something that you would just do like a random, like a signing or something like that. Like Jason Peters randomly citing late or something like that. Not saying that they would go for that guy, no way, but it's really just the ones that you really acquire is just pass rushers throughout the years, really, or a wide receiver, or even a running back. It's never offensive linemen, because people can pretty much be like, I'm just gonna pick someone off a practice squad and we'll just stick them in there and ride the wave, see if we work, do or die.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Let's take some more super chats. Ethan M. Only taking $1 million cap if they are all in the season. We'll see what they do. We got you. Rotating him has a better chance of getting the best out of him. Great trade for the Niners. Grant, you're dope. You got to rotate him. They're still going to play Drake Jackson, wouldn't you think?
No, yeah, of course. He's not gonna be a starter. He's not gonna be another pass rush specialist. This depends on how it looks. Give a rest. We like this guy looking. If Gregory's surging, of course you're not gonna take him off. And if Jackson starts surging, then you're not gonna take him off.
No. Who's Dallas looking for? Tells from Trey or Trent? Haha. Matt McCown says, sorry I'm late. Gregory has more injuries than sacks. That's true.
Damn. That is true. That's number one concern. It's like, I'm not worried about Crisera getting the most out of him. I'm not worried about Gregory's on the field product looking fine. I'm worried about, can he stay healthy? And you would think that being in a rotational role, not having to be the anchor, but we'll see, man. All it takes is one play for you to get hurt.
Yeah. Yeah. Kyler V says Niners should trade for a solid backup tight end.
Yeah, after they drafted like 4 of them this year.
Yeah.
I saw an article about a team, about someone covering a team talking about this team's not getting them anything at all out of the draft class. And I'm thinking, are the 49ers getting anything out of this draft class? And I'm like, no, it's just Jake Moody. It's just Jake Moody. They're not getting nothing. Not saying it's a bad thing, because, they're dominating, but I guess this be expected when you're picking last in the 3rd round back to back, right?